We get to hear a lot of this, bullshit in our society, that if your marriage is going through ups and downs, have children. If this is happening or if that is happening, have children, things will be sorted. Trust me, it's horrible for the kids. I mean, me being raised by narcissistic parents, I can testify that it's horrible. It's like a nightmare, to be raised by narcissistic parents. Hey everyone, I hope everyone is doing good and taking good care of themselves. So today I'm going to talk about, the different toxic ways narcissistic parents use their health to exploit and control you. I mean, their children, their offspring. And before I get going, I would request you all to like, share, subscribe the channel, hit the notification bell so you guys are updated whenever we put out a new content. So these narcissistic parents are not like, the healthy parents who, choose to start family out of love, altruistic reasons. Yeah, it's all about return. It's very calculated. They will put in something, they will invest something in you, and they would want to, harvest huge return in the end. Yeah, so anything that they do for you is strings attached. Yeah, so I mean, at some point they will want to harvest supply out of you. They would want return. They will give you subtle payback reminders, and even if they are giving payback reminders and you're not understanding, then they are going to summon their flying monkeys, their enablers, their golden child, and their fellow narcissists to go ahead and talk on their behalf. Yeah, so all of these folks are going to reach out to you and tell you, are you doing this for your mom, are you doing this for your dad? So they don't want to spoil their image. Yeah? So these narcissistic parents are really scared of being exposed as narcissistic, horrible, greedy, selfish parent. So they keep changing their strategy, they keep changing the way how they behave in front of you. And this is because they don't want you to see them, yeah, I mean, for who they are. Because if you see them constantly being horrible, you will understand the game, and that's not what they want. They want you to be confused. They want you to crave more and more of their love, affection, attention. So they keep changing their strategies, and that's how they evade accountability and responsibility. They avoid being exposed. Yeah, and basically what this does is that this confuses the victim, in this case the children, us. We are confused. We just don't know what the reality is. Yeah, because sometimes my mother treats me horribly, but there are times when she treats me right. Yeah, so that creates the entire addiction cycle. Yeah, and that's how we are on hook for long. Yeah, I mean, it really takes a lot of time and energy and effort to accept for who they are, to see them for who they are. It's not easy. It takes time. I mean, it took a long time for me to give closure. It took a long time for me to have this radical acceptance. Yeah, because as children, it's very difficult for us to accept our primary caregivers as our abuser. It's difficult. Yeah, so we keep making stories, we keep gaslighting ourselves, we keep narrating lies to our own self so that we can survive that relationship. Yeah, I mean, if I accept the fact that my mother is abusive, she's a bitch, or she's a horrible person, my father is a horrible person, he's an abuser, it will be difficult for me to stay under the roof, yeah, with him. Yeah, I will distance myself. And most of us don't have that courage. Yeah, I mean, definitely, I mean, we do grow courage with time, but initial days we don't have that courage. We are in some ways dependent on them. Plus, narcissistic parents are expert in crippling us. Yeah, they handicap us emotionally. Yeah, so that we keep running back to them, we keep crawling back to them, despite of the mistreatment that they throw at us. Yeah, so things are, as it is, extremely complicated. And you need to understand that these narcissistic parents they don't want you to become independent. They don't want you to have a life of your own. They want you to be somewhat connected with them. They want you to be dependent on them, and that's it. The work is done. Because if you become independent, if you outgrow, you might not buy their bullshit. Yeah, you might not listen to them. You might start asking questions. You might start refusing, denying, and doing all sorts of things. And that's not what they want. They brought you in this world to be their loyal, dedicated, devoted servant, no questions asked. Yeah. So it's very problematic. It's like a red flag for these narcissistic parents when they see that the kid is trying to outgrow, or the kid is in some ways becoming independent. Now, coming to the different ways these narcissistic parents use their health to exploit their children, to control their children. And you need to understand that narcissistic parents are into using anything and everything when it comes to controlling and manipulating their children. I mean, exploiting, abusing their children. They will use anything and everything that they have. They are not going to spare anything. I mean, they are going to use their old age, they are going to use their financial situation, they are going to use their disability, they are going to use their temperament, they are going to use their difficult backstory, they are going to use their childhood, they are going to use their work pressure. They are going to use anything and everything to manipulate you and to successfully control you. Now, coming to the health thing, narcissistic parents are big time into using their health, and this is basically to keep you on hook, extort things out of you, get you to do things for them, and that's it. Yeah, because it's all about supply. They planted the seed to harvest the fruit. Yeah, that's how things are with narcissistic setup, narcissistic families. They conceived you, or they gave birth to you because they wanted return. They wanted you to do the things for them which they were not able to do it for themselves. Yeah. So I mean, the best thing is breed. If you have no ability, no skill set, nothing, if you are going through a bad time, just have kids, and the kids are going to sort out your problem, whether it's marital problem, this problem, that problem. I mean, we get to hear a lot of this bullshit in our society, that if your marriage is going through ups and downs, have children. If this is happening or if that is happening, have children, things will be sorted. Trust me, it's horrible for the kids. I mean, me being raised by narcissistic parents, I can testify that it's horrible. It's like a nightmare, to be raised by narcissistic parents. It's horrible. It's painful. Things are distorted, beyond imagination, and it takes a long time. It's a painful process to heal and recover, unlearn all that bullshit and relearn the good thing. It is a painful process. It's not easy. I mean, by just going no contact, the problem is not solved. It takes a lot of time. You have to work on your own self. Okay, no contact is to cut contacts with the narcissist, and not having any communication exchange. But you need to do work on yourself. You need to put in a lot of time. You need to go down the memory lane. You need to confront, or you need to face your demon. You need to face the things that you had been avoiding. Yeah. So there is a lot of inner work that you need to do. It's not easy that you just went no contact and boom, you're a new person. No, it didn't happen with me. I mean, that's not how things are. You need to work on yourself. No contact is the first step when it comes to healing yourself, and after that you need to work on yourself, and it takes time. Everybody's things are different. You are designed differently. You are unique in your own way. So you will take your own sweet time to heal and process and unlearn and relearn things. Yeah. So you need to do a lot of reparenting, and I mean, it's good. In the end, the results are good, but yes, the process is painful. Now, coming to the different ways these narcissistic parents use their health to exploit and control you. The first way is playing the victim of poor health. So they will exaggerate or fabricate illness, to keep their children in a constant state of, worry and servitude. They may refuse to seek proper medical care, forcing their children to step in as caretakers and sacrifice their personal lives. So, they might not go to a doctor, because if they go to a doctor, the doctor might give, some medications and they might just heal. And that's not what they want. They want to play victim. They want to be the, suffering hero, and they want the kids to become their caretaker. Yeah, because it's all about return. They just don't want you to be happy. They don't want you to, be absorbed or be busy with your own life. No, because they brought you for return. Yeah, so I mean, they might not go to a doctor, they might not take care of their health, because they want you to serve them. Yeah, and then they are going to tell you, well, see, I'm so old, I'm so sick, and you have got no idea, your auntie is having a gala time, all of the daughters are there to help her and serve her. I mean, I don't know what's happening with me. I mean, I am having a bad luck. You're working, you're busy in your own world, you hardly care about me. All that guilt and shame and manipulation and gaslighting. And then, I mean, as kids, we feel responsible. If someone is playing victim all the time, we tend to believe that story, and we start, uh, ignoring our own self, our own needs, and we start prioritizing them. Yeah, and a society is also toxic, because our society doesn't allow us to escape. Our society doesn't allow us to question. Our society doesn't allow us to confront these kind of nonsensical things that exist in society and culture. Yeah, I mean, it's considered a taboo to question your parent. It's considered taboo to make a life of your own, and move ahead in life, and just let them be, and let your parents have a life of their own. In some of the cultures, in some of the society, it's considered taboo. You have to carry them on. Yeah, you have to carry them along. Yeah, they are like those parasites, who you can't get rid of. Yeah, only once they are no more, then you have the burden off your shoulder. Otherwise, you have to carry on. Yeah, people are going to gaslight you, they are going to manipulate you, guilt trip you, and shame you. Oh, you've forgotten your mother, you've forgotten your father. And nobody is interested to know how your narcissistic father and mother is treating you. That's nobody's concern. All what they are concerned about is how well the family looks on the outside. Yeah, how well the family is presented and represented on the outside. They are not concerned about the shit that happens behind the closed door. So yes, narcissistic parents are big time into playing victim of poor health. Yeah, and they are going to exaggerate their illness. They are going to present themselves in such a way as if they are on their deathbed. They are going to fake death, they are going to fake their illness. And I mean, just to tell you, I have seen and I have observed this. A lot of my clients, they did install some camera in their house to see. And strangely, in their absence, the narcissistic parent was all right. And only when these victims, they entered the house, and then the entire health condition started deteriorating, and their health started taking a toll. Yeah, so in their absence, the narcissistic parents were absolutely okay. They were walking, eating, doing things by themselves. But the moment these kids, I mean these adult children of narcissistic parents, entered the house, that is the time when they were like, oh, I can't walk, oh shit, I can't eat, you've got no idea, I'm suffering. Yeah, so they start acting, and this is basically to guilt trip the child into submission. This is basically to guilt trip the child into serving them, yeah, into prioritizing them, and not having a life of their own. The other way how these narcissistic parents use their health to exploit and control you is by using health crisis to demand attention. So narcissistic parents often create or magnify health emergencies, expecting their children to drop everything to attend to them. Yeah, this tactic ensures their children remains emotionally tethered and unable to focus on their own needs. Yeah, so they are going to exaggerate and present it as if they are on their deathbed and they are about to die, so that you leave everything aside and you rush and serve them, you attend them, and you don't prioritize or go ahead with your own plans. And this is basically to again control you, manipulate you, you know spoil your career life, spoil your personal life, so that you don't have any life of your own. You are just there with them, you're stuck with them, and you just keep serving them. So yes, these narcissistic parents are into uh, creating, or you can say magnifying, health emergencies. I mean, if they are not seriously ill, but they are going to present things in such a way that it appears as if they are on their deathbed, and some serious thing needs to be done. So they are going to present themselves in such a way as if they are on their deathbed, they are seriously ill, and you need to leave everything that you're doing and just come to them and just look after them. Yeah, in a healthy setup, okay, illness is there, but I have to manage my illness. My kids are not there to manage my illness. Yeah. I cannot keep dragging my child to come and serve me. I have to look after my own health, I have to look after myself, and that's it. If something goes seriously wrong, then okay, I mean, if the child is capable, or if the child has time, or if the child is willing, the child can come and help me out. But I'm not going to fake my illness, I'm not going to pressurize him or her to leave everything and come and look after me. I'm not going to do that. But these narcissistic parents are different. It's all about supply, harvesting supply, and that's it. The other way how these narcissistic parents use their health to exploit and control you is with threats related to death, self-harm, suicide. So they are going to use threats of dying soon or taking their own lives to manipulate their children into compliance. And this tactic creates fear, guilt, and obligation, forcing the children to cater to their demands rather than establishing healthy boundaries. So if they see that you are busy in your own life, if they see that you are happy, then they are going to come up with a story that I'm seriously ill, I'm about to die. I mean, you just are busy with your own life, you are busy with your wife and family, you hardly care about me. Don't you know I have got just a few years left, I'm going to die soon, you're going to miss me, you're hardly spending time with me. Or they are going to threaten you, and they are going to tell you that they are going to end their life if you're not going to do this, if you're not going to do that. And all of it is basically to manipulate their children into compliance. Yeah, I mean, this tactic basically creates or instills fear, guilt, obligation inside the children, adult children. And we feel miserable, we leave everything and we look after them, we leave everything and we prioritize them. Yeah, I mean, as children we don't want our parents to end their life. As children we don't want our parents to die. I mean, with time we do get to understand that everybody has to die. I mean, you have to die, I have to die. Yeah, and we don't take these threats seriously. Yeah, as how things are clear, I mean, as how we are exposed to different things, as how we have this awareness, we tend to understand what real is. Yeah, what I mean reality is, and that is that my parent is lying, my parent is faking. Yeah, but till the time we are under that spell, till the time we are emotionally enmeshed, till the time we are trauma bonded, things are very difficult to see. So yes, narcissistic parents are big time into threatening their children with their death, and threats that they might end their life. And this is all to control and manipulate their children, this is all to distract the child. Yeah, they don't want their children to be focused on their life, on their well-being, on their family, be focused with their work. They don't want that. They want to be the only focal point for their children in their children's life. I mean, them, I mean the narcissistic parents. The other way how these narcissistic parents use health to exploit and abuse and to control and manipulate you, I mean their adult children, is by weaponizing financial dependency tied to health. So these narcissistic parents may claim that they can't afford medical care or medication, making their children feel financially obligated to support them. This drains the child's resources and keeps them financially and emotionally tied to the parent. And trust me, I have seen this with my own eyes. I mean, someone that I knew was a narcissistic woman, and she used to extort money from her son, by faking illness, by telling him that she cannot afford. She had money for all the other things. She had money for tour and travel. She had money for shopping and hosting dinner and inviting people, but she never had money to get herself treated. Yeah, so she used to extort money from her son, and whenever the son used to go and meet her, she used to fall ill. And whenever he was away, she was traveling the world, hosting dinner parties and doing this and that. So that's how things are with these narcissistic individuals. So these narcissistic individuals are big time into weaponizing financial dependency tied to health. Yeah, I mean, you have to look after my health, you have to take care of my health, you have to pay my medical bills because I cannot afford, I cannot manage. And I mean, in an ideal situation, a kid is not going to let their parent die without money. The kid is going to get them treated, the kid is going to pay for the medicine. But these narcissistic parents are into extorting things 365 days. Yeah, it's not just once or twice. In a healthy setup, okay, sometimes parent can have some problem, and it's absolutely okay if the kids help their parent. That's absolutely normal and okay. But with narcissistic individuals, narcissistic parents, they are entitled individuals. For all their problem, there is one stop solution, that is their children. Yeah, they're going to guilt trip them, they are going to shame them, they are going to manipulate them, gaslight them, do all sorts of things and harvest solution or supply out of them. That's it. The other way how these narcissistic parents use their health to exploit and control you is by guilt tripping through caregiver roles. So they exploit caregiving roles, making the child feel selfish or ungrateful if they don't take on the responsibility of caring for their parents' declining health. This keeps the child trapped in a cycle of guilt and obligation. So these narcissistic parents are going to keep you reminded of the bare minimum things they have done. They are going to tell you, I used to have sleepless night, this and that, and all of this is basically to make you feel obligated that now it's your turn to do it for me. They are going to spend 5-6 years to raise you. Yeah, I mean, when you are small, and till the age 5 or 6, they are going to do the bare minimum basic which is expected out of every parent, since they decided to bring you in this world. And then they are going to parentify you. They are going to groom you in such a way that in exchange for those 6 years that they have done for you, you are ready to do you know 20 or 30 years of service for them. Yeah, you're ready to serve them till they die. Yeah, so they will just spend in 5-6 years on you. They are going to do things for you, then they are going to parentify you, and then they are going to train you to serve them till the end. Yeah, till the time they are there. Yeah, I mean, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80 years I have seen parents exploiting and abusing their children you know um, till the time they are dead, because they brought you for return, and they are not going to let you lose. They are not going to let you run away. They will try their level best to have you on hook, and the best way is health. Yeah, I'm dying, I'm declining, just leave everything and come to me, and that's it. Now it's your time to be the caregiver. I did my part, I mean 5-6 years, and now you have to serve me, I mean 30, 40, 50 years, and now you have to serve me. Yeah, so that's how things are. with these narcissistic parents. And the last way how these narcissistic parents use their health to control you and to manipulate you is by using emotional blackmail over future loss. They, frequently remind their children that they will regret not being there when the parent is gone, pushing their child into a caretaker role driven by fear rather than genuine love or responsibility. And to tell you honestly, I was there as well. After going no contact, my father used to, reach out to me, through someone, via someone. And he used to tell me that you're going to regret one fine day, you'll get to know that I'm dead and I'm gone. And I used to feel guilty. Genuinely, I used to feel guilty, and I used to feel, as if, let me just go and, help him, and let me just go and be there, when he's dying. But with time, I realized that that guy is not going to change. Yeah, I mean, I am good at heart, and that's the reason I'm feeling, this way, that I need to be there with him. I mean, when he dies. But in reality, he never treated me right. He never respected me. Yeah. So, I mean, it's a two-way thing. And with time I realized that there is nothing to feel guilty about, because when I was dependent on him, when I was in my vulnerable state, he mistreated me royally. He abused me, exploited me, and mistreated me, and minimized me, and shamed me, and criticized me, and guilt tripped me, and did whatnot. Yeah, when I was at my lowest. And with time, when I did move on, you know him trying to guilt trip me was not working out. I was not feeling guilty. After some time, I was not really feeling guilty. I knew that he had to die alone. Yeah, because he never treated me right, and I respect my own self, and I will not be there for those who did not treat me right. If someone minimized me, criticized me, shamed me, guilt tripped me, mistreated me, abused me, mocked at me, I will not be there when they die. And I don't feel guilty about it. Initially, I used to feel guilty whenever he used to reach out, but with time, I was done. Yeah, I mean, that was my kind heart, that was telling me and reminding me that I should be there. But, when I, reflected, when I did the deep dive, I realized that, he never had any mercy on me. He never treated me right. He treated me miserably every time that I didn't perform well in the school. Every time when I wasn't able to do things that he wanted out of me, I was not spared. I was shamed, criticized, and when I reacted, I was labeled as the difficult child, someone who's selfish, ungrateful, and bad, a bad influence. And, that's how I was treated. So, there is no point, in feeling guilty, with such, communication, dialogue, and phrases, because, they never treated me right in the first place. If they would have treated me right, I wouldn't have had, gone no contact, or, cut off the relationship. I wouldn't have had gone to that extent. Yeah, only because I wanted to survive, only because I wanted to live, and I wanted to, have some good time, I had to leave them. I had to, get rid of them. And that's how I healed, and that's how I, moved on in life. Yeah. So these narcissistic parents are like parasites, and there is no medication, there is no remedy, no herb, no magic potion, to get rid of them. Yeah, the only way how you can, come out of that equation is going no contact. Yeah, I mean, if you think you are going to use, gray rock or any of the rocks, it doesn't work, because they keep violating boundaries. They will keep on triggering you. They'll keep on provoking you, and when you react, they are going to label you, play victim. Yeah, so it's very difficult, to be with them. And the best thing is to prioritize your own self and to let them be. Yeah, and move on in life. So yes, this was it. In case if you would like to add in something, you can always comment below. Till then, take care of yourself. Lots of love and blessings to all of you. Bye.